Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here, going to work with you today on Tuesday, May 5th. This will be the first video, and on this video we'll be working on the page that you can see on the screen right here. This is just coming directly out of our packet, and just like all of these first pages and these first videos, most of this page is just going to be a lot of instructions, kind of some explanations. So think of these statements as the types of things that you'd hear me say in our classroom and the kinds of notes you'd take. They're just typed out for you. So the first part of our job then is to just read through our sentence and fill in the blank. And so I'll go ahead and read through. It says, you know the number of dots that should be in a dot plot. Because you know dot plots, use one symbol to represent each number in a data set. And so we're just kind of filling in the missing letters here, completing these words. And so that's just a quick reminder that dot plots have a one-to-one correspondence to numbers. And the rest of the page is just some more instructions. So I'm going to take us to the next page where we have our challenge problems. And the challenge problems I've coded in color here, and I answered these problems on a sheet of notebook paper because they take a little bit of explanation. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of space here. So for part A, the challenge problem for A said, compare the process of leveling out a group to the process of calculating the mean. And so the leveling out process is really just kind of a visualization of the calculation of the mean. So it's just, if we look back, I'm going to maybe show you, maybe this will help a little bit here. If you look at the top of this page, you see there are 7 groups and there are 4 blocks in each group. And that was a leveling out of this set of blocks. So there's 7 groups here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you have 3 blocks in one, 5 blocks in another, 4 blocks in one, 2 blocks in another, and so on. And so when we level out, what we're doing is we're just shifting our blocks either to or from another group. We don't add or subtract any total blocks, we just shift them, and so we level them out like this. And this leveling out can help us see that the average in each group is 4, or the average, I'm sorry, for the whole data set is 4 here. And what I answer here on my paper is that process of drawing these blocks like that leveling out process, is just shifting and redrawing. So it's just that visualization instead of the calculation approach. Either way is perfectly fine. The calculation approach gives us an opportunity to calculate the mean of very large data sets, where leveling out works well for really small groups like I just showed you, groups of 7 or so. But when you get into larger data sets, you want to be able to calculate. So the leveling out is just a nice tool. Part B asks if the average temperature is 58 degrees, then if the average temperature this time of year is 58 degrees, then does that mean that the temperature every single day is 58 degrees? And of course, this is one of those questions where, of course, that the temperature changes quite a bit each day. So there's no, guarantee. Of course, the natural world doesn't work in this perfect, predictable way. It changes, it goes up, it goes down. Some days it's hot, some days it's cold, some days it's windy, and so forth. On this, we're just interested in the temperature. So the average temperature is calculated by totaling all the temperature data and then dividing by the number of days that you took that data. And so I just gave here for my answer for part B just kind of an explanation. Suppose on Monday it was 74 degrees, Tuesday 60, and Wednesday 40. The total, if you add those together, is 174. And since I had 3 days, I divide by 3. I get an average of 58. So that is it. Their average temperature for those 3 days is 58 degrees, even though no single day ended up at 58. So the average does not have to be equal to some number in your data set. Just kind of a way for you to understand the difference between average and sorry, not the difference between, but the concept of average and how it relates to the concepts in your data set. Okay? Part C just asks you to list the steps, explain the steps to calculate the mean. So pretty straightforward. I just did a 1, 2 here. There are 2 steps. We add up your data so you get a total number, just like I did up here for my temperatures. I add up my data and then I divide the total by the number of data. And that quotient that I get in this case was 58. But that's it. We just add up your total, divide by the number of pieces we needed, and there's your mean. Pretty straightforward calculation, and you'll be using mean a great deal in your later coursework in science and math. And then part D just asked us to create a data set that a 5th grader could solve. So I chose whole numbers less than 10. So I just chose the numbers 4, 3, 6, 5, and 2. If you add them up, they get 20. There are 5, not versions, there are 5 numbers there in my data set. And so I divide 20 by 5 to get 4, so my mean is 4. It's a little hard to see with the screen like that, so there you go. I zoomed out a bit and you can see that. And so part D was just sort of a create your own problem. All right, that's all I'm going to have time for today, or for this particular video. I'll be posting videos 2 and 3 shortly. Thank you for watching this video. Please continue to ask questions through our text messages, through our Remind app, through Zoom classroom meetings. You can ask questions through Google Classroom as well. Lots of different ways to get in touch. Please do stay in touch. Let me know how things are going, and I will be seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching.